Terms and conditions legal notice. The publisher has strived to be as accurate and complete as possible in the creation of this report, notwithstanding the fact that he does not warrant or represent at any time that the contents within are accurate due to the rapidly changing nature of the Internet. While all attempts have been made to verify information provided in this publication, the publisher assumes no responsibility for errors, omissions, or contrary interpretation of the subject matter herein. Any perceived slights of specific persons, peoples, or organizations are unintentional. In practical advice books, like anything else in life, there are no guarantees of income made. Readers are cautioned to rely on their own judgment about their individual circumstances to act accordingly. This book is not intended for use as a source of legal, business, accounting, or financial advice. All readers are advised to seek services of competent professionals in legal, business, accounting, and finance fields. You are encouraged to print this book for easy reading. Table of Contents. Foreword. Chapter 1. Introduction. Chapter 2. The Importance of Self-Discipline. Chapter 3. Make sure you understand yourself and what you want. Chapter 4. Develop conscious awareness. Chapter 5. Learn how to commit. Wrapping up. Understand that discipline takes practice. 4. Forward. In order to receive the most possible gratification from something, we must first learn to hold off on instant rewards. This may seem like a hard task to accomplish for many people. With a little practice and the use of these helpful steps, waiting for the big prize will become a walk in the park. Achieve breakthrough using delayed gratification. The most important self-discipline strategies revealed. Chapter 1. Introduction. Synopsis. The principle of delayed gratification is something that we can apply for almost everything in our lives. The rarer a particular thing is, and the more we wait for the pleasure of finally getting it, the more enjoyable it is when we receive it. Setting limitations to your desires. In the world we live in, most people can't wait for the greater delayed reward and chooses the instant reward instead. Almost every pleasure that you can possibly think of is available to you at any particular moment. Want to watch a movie? It's available to you by a click of a mouse. Want to try some Chinese food? You can order it for instant delivery through any 24-hour food joint. Want to purchase a new rock album past midnight without going to the store? Simple. Find it on Amazon or iTunes and buy it online. Want to talk for a while? Call a friend or text the person. This is the time of instant pleasures. Anything you want is provided instantly for your pleasure. No one is going to stop you from doing something that you want to do instantly, and it is all up to you since you are the one who is in charge of controlling the flow of your life. You control when you want something and if you want to wait for something bigger and better. You are the only one who can draw limits on your pleasure, and it's not because you have to draw the lines, but because you want to cherish it for a better time. It was once part of social initiative and now it is your personal choice to make decisions for yourself. Now the question arrives, why would you wait instead of receiving the instant rewards? The answer is simple: to maximize your own pleasure and happiness. Chapter 2. The Importance of Self-Discipline. Synopsis. It's quite obvious that we're discussing about the matter of denial to self-pleasure here, which is a very strong word in the psychology world and is sometimes compared with sacrifice, and maybe it will make you feel suffocated when you think about it this way. This feeling is natural, as why would you deny yourself from any sort of pleasure? Have willpower. Something that you notice only when you are denying yourself from the greater pleasures is how important the little pleasures are. For instance, to any person something sweet like a brownie is a desire, but if you are on a strict diet, little things seem like a lot more and you start appreciating them more. If you take a break from the bigger rewards, you actually gain back the ability to appreciate the little rewards which you receive in everyday life. It is important that you cherish the little things as well. When you deny an instant pleasure to receive something greater later, and you get what you want after the wait, it is quite possible for you to realize that you didn't need it after all. For example, you think that you are in need of a new laptop, and instead of buying it right away you wait for a couple of months and then you realize that your old laptop is working just fine and you don't need a new one. Inspires you to value the things, after the months-long wait. If you still want that particular object that you wanted to buy, then get it. Waiting to get it makes you appreciate it more, which will make you take better care of it. Just like your parents used to say all the time, if you buy something yourself, you take care of it in a better manner. If you have saved your money for quite some time to purchase a new laptop, chances are that you will do anything to make sure that it lasts as long as possible. Delayed gratification gives us the feeling of earning a pleasure, and this feeling makes us want it even more, and as a result we do anything to keep it from going to waste. This brings us to the next advantage: gives you full satisfaction and no guilt. Have you ever purchased something that you desired, but were unable to buy it right away and had to save money for it? The pleasure that you receive when you finally buy that object after all the wait and efforts is heavily increased. As well, the wait also makes sure that there is no guilt afterwards for making an instant decision to purchase the thing right away without rethinking it. This guilt would have made it hard for you to enjoy the pleasure fully if you had bought the object instantly. But when you wait for a pleasure to come and make efforts for it, the pleasure is entirely yours and there are no second thoughts to cause any guilt or regrets. When you have saved money for a new PS3, you can purchase it anytime without worrying about the guilt. Allow yourself to experience life deeply. You miss out on some things when you don't buy things instantly. But delayed gratification is all about sacrifice and about denying the things that keep you from having greater pleasures. This is what you need to think and believe. I'm always asking, what am I going to give up next? Because I want to feel. Jim Carrey. It's hard to see it, but the real pleasure comes only after the waiting, when you know you really want it and you have made efforts for it. The one thing that everybody wants is to feel pleasure. Not necessarily something great, but to feel anything real, and to feel it deeply. Most things that we do socially are generally targeted to feel something that we want, no matter if it's good or bad. We just want to feel it. Even if we are doing something bad, the feeling is still enjoyable at some level. But instead of creating awkward situations and doing stupid things, you can also put your time and efforts in doing something better, such as increasing the anticipation of a particular pleasure by leaving it for a later time. Normally we consider hunger as a bad thing and satiation as a good one. But each one of these two states has its own value for us. To enjoy our meal and the feeling of satiation, we need to feel hungry at times. To feel the life in its entirety, we need to feel both the feelings of having something and not to have that something. If you always have everything that you wish for, then you are missing out on the pleasures that you get by earning something that you really want. Gives you strength. Some desires are always more wished for than the other ones, and at times these desires control the person and work as a passion. This passion drives the person to make every possible effort that they can make in order to get the things done in their favor. When you find something that you really want, you do whatever it takes to make that happen, and this will make you stronger inside and give you strength to do what needs to be done on your side. For your passion, you will make every sacrifice that you have to and wait for it as long as it takes. Everyone needs to find out the ways to control their self-desires. Every man should have the ability to control his desires instead of allowing the desires to control him and his actions. The man is the master of his desires and should act in a similar manner. Delay in your pleasures gives your confidence of having control of your desires. Discipline is just like any muscle of your body, and to make it stronger you need to exercise it on a regular basis. Freedom is not procured by a full enjoyment of what is desired, but by controlling that desire. Epictetus maximized the pleasure and happiness. You have probably heard this 1,000 times before in song lyrics or spiritual books, that it is not the destination that makes you happy, but it's the journey that makes the destination worth it. And this is true in its entirety. Scientific research shows that our brain feels happier while we are moving forward in the direction of our desired goal than when we actually reach our goal. This may sound weird, but if you think about it closely, it is all true. The spirit of Christmas is developed by the months of wait and anticipation. We all have been in the situations where we worked really hard to achieve something big, and when we finally achieve that something, we feel like something is missing from it, and then we realize that the journey was the best part. One of the more detailed and self-explaining examples of it can be seen by a study that took place to analyze the mind state of employees regarding vacations. The research showed that even after having a good and relaxing vacation, the level of happiness of employees returned to its general level in less than 2 weeks. The highest boost in the happiness of the same employees was observed while they were anticipating the vacations. This research proved by scientific methods that the anticipation gives you more happiness than the goal itself. Based on this theory and research, it is recommended to people that they take a number of short vacations instead of invoking all your vacations in a single long vacation. This way your total number of holidays remains the same, but it increases the number of days you spent happily anticipating the vacations. Delaying the gratification also increases the value of the pleasure that you get from it. For example, if you stay on a diet for a long time and then order a brownie, there is no way you cannot enjoy it. The wait works is the greatest spice to your food. To be clear, this thing is not applied to the food only. This is also the case in relationships. When you are away from your partner for a while, you want them back much more. This is common in couples to take a break from relationships right before weddings to increase the anticipation and wait for the big day. So no matter what it is that you desire, you can always use delayed gratification to increase the amount of pleasure and happiness by building up the anticipation. Everyone has the power to control their will to receive the greater rewards. The key is to use this willpower wisely to get the most out of every situation. Delayed gratification gives you the ability to enjoy any event or pleasure to its fullest and increases the joy and happiness involved with the goals in your life. Chapter 3. Make sure you understand yourself and what you want. Synopsis. The generations before us had a balance between delayed gratification and immediate rewards. Technology is working as a tool to make us habitual to the instant results and outcomes. A generation before us, people didn't have all these things like phones and internet. They couldn't just call someone and ask something. Instead, they had to write letters and wait days and even weeks for a simple reply. People had the ability to control their willpower, and patience was easy to find in people, and they also knew how to value the importance of hard work. Delayed gratification allowed them to cherish the important moments of life and how to reach to their goals. Be patient. Today, the technology has ruined our ability to wait for something. We can't wait for even 5 minutes to get a reply, and it is just about impossible for us to imagine waiting a week for a reply. Some might say that we are now addicted to the social media platforms and the latest technology, while the others say that we are now completely dependable to the new trends that these technologies give us. A smartphone without internet access or Wi-Fi wouldn't be that addicting, and the same goes for Facebook without friends. With this increased influence of technology, we are always in a hurry. We do everything in a hurry, and we do everything possible to get the things that we want quickly. We are getting addicted to the lifestyle offered by the technology advancements and social media. We check our Facebook account constantly to see if someone has posted something, even though most of them are people we rarely talk to in real life. We look for people's attention and validation while we know that the other people are looking for the same thing. We do it by means of uploading a picture or by posting a status, while in reality nobody wants to share their life with you. They are just pretending that they are having a good time and post it to make others envy them, and to make it worse, we are all falling for it. It is one of the reasons why we live out life in a typical instant manner instead of planning for good things. Technology has made us believe that we can have an easy life and quick solutions to everything. We have also replaced the grammar in our messages, and now we write shortened messages because we are in need of instant replies. Because of our practice of instant gratification, we are rushing through the important things of life which we should have cherished, and are delaying the things that we need the most. We make excuses to avoid the important things to enjoy the immediate pleasure. With instant gratification, you get the reward too early. When you do so, you are missing out on the part in which you motivate yourself to invest your time and efforts to gain something bigger in future. This can be compared to your email account, where if you remain as an instant gratification practicing person, you would check your emails constantly, and therefore you will find yourself with 0 new rewards most of the time. Someone who practices the delayed gratification would avoid this, and that also gives him the feeling that he has the control over the things and doesn't need to live the life in a hurry. The practice also gives you a safety financial cushion whenever there are new problems to handle, and you can take bigger risks based on this saving of yours. The key is to have many rewards waiting for you to be accepted, and this is what gives you the confidence to achieve higher rewards. You can invest your rewards with increased efforts to gain a lot more at some later time. In some way, you can understand the delayed gratification concept as an immediate gratification which you save and cherish for a later time to make more enjoyable and appropriate more. When you delay an available reward, you accept that you can work without this reward for now and you are going to save it for a later time when it'll be more beneficial for you. You can notice around you that the most successful and respected people of society are the ones who practice delayed gratification and have many rewards stored for them in the near future. Chapter 4. Develop conscious awareness. Synopsis. If you think about it, delayed gratification is defiantly something we can't learn naturally these days, and it looks like a thing from the old times. The new technologies around us are making us eager to get the things that we want right away. Things like credit cards, smartphones, email, and internet is making our ability to wait for something weak. Be aware the present technology makes us believe that waiting is outdated. We can buy anything now just with a click. Our thinking is completely changed and we now believe that we can get everything the very moment we want it. Strangely enough, even this concept has its disadvantages and risks. This habit reduces the ability of humans to wait for something and the willpower of a person. The basic reason why most people don't apply delayed gratification in their everyday life to achieve their goals is because the concept is based on the practice of self-control, which requires ability to control the flow of one's willpower. But if you look at it closely, there are differences in concepts of self-control and delayed gratification. With delayed gratification, you only control your will to deny some pleasure for a later time to increase the joy and happiness of getting it without any guilt, while in the concept of self-control you control your willpower to learn to ignore a particular pleasure in life. There are a number of advantages in practicing the concepts of delayed gratification, and it has the ability to make some great positive impacts on your career and life. If you came to know how important and useful it is, the chances are that you are going to give efforts and time practicing this to get the benefits you get from it. There is a beauty with the pleasure attached with delayed gratification that is incredibly hard to put in words. The thing that you always wanted and waited for so long gives you much more happiness than you could have received by getting it instantly. The anticipation and the efforts that you make to get it gives you the joy you have earned from doing it for yourself. You always enjoy hanging out with friends more when there is no pending work to get back to. The experience that we get from all the waiting and anticipation makes the entire event more enjoyable and memorable than you could ever dream of. In time, you get more joy from delayed gratification than the instant rewards that you could have received. It just doesn't look like it in the beginning, since most people are not really looking towards the big picture and the bright future. The practice of this concept gives you great benefits in all aspects of life and allows you to achieve great success with your goals. What instant gratification tells us. Even though instant gratification is practiced by most people, it has its number of disadvantages. First of all, it allows us to believe that we don't need to work hard in order to achieve what we want, and it also takes our mind off the things that are important for us, and as a result we don't value these things. Let's make this concept clear with a very common example of gambling. Gambling is one of the greatest examples of instant gratification. You pick some cards, you bet some money, and after a roll of some dice you win a bunch of money. Sometimes people do win big money in gambling, but as you can see, they are very likely to use the same money to gamble again. We all know what happens at the end of game. They walk home either with little money or lose more than they won. Why? Because there was no hard work behind the winning and the person valued the money enough and used it to continue to gamble. Now imagine someone who is saving money for a particular thing or a lifelong dream. Do you think anyone who is saving money would give this less importance to money? No, they would spend their money carefully according to a plan and would pay great attention to how they are using the money, because they gave their time and efforts to save this money and delayed their urge to buy something immediately to make sure they use it wisely. People who practice instant gratification make a theory that high rewards can be earned with little amount of work. And this is the thought that keeps them from achieving greater rewards. This thought has high impact on practicing people their entire life. Eating junk food instead of cooking healthy food for you results in increased probability of heart diseases and diabetes. If you just complete the assigned work with no quality at work to get the month's salary, then you can have it, but you also miss the chance to gain some recognition and possible promotions or salary raises. While on the other hand, people who practice delayed gratification knows the value of hard work and high rewards. And if you compare the similar lifestyles again, you can see that they will choose to cook healthy meals for themselves instead of just eating out every day at some fast food joint to keep them healthy. People who practice delayed gratification would work hard at their jobs to get higher paychecks and possible promotions. With delaying the rewards, you also learn to value the outcome of the wait, since you have made so many efforts for it and you have waited for so long for it. That is why you know the result should be worth all this wait and efforts. For example, imagine a kid who bought a new phone from his own savings and another kid who got the same phone from his parents. The first kid will make sure to take good care of his phone, while the second kid doesn't care at all. Now we can easily assume who is going to take better care of his phone. The person who is practicing delayed gratification takes the outcome of any event seriously and values the result in the best possible manner. Therefore, upon receiving your paycheck, instead of just spending the money on random things that seem important momentarily, you save the money for a bigger event. And sometime in that week you will realize that the first thing you thought of spending the money on was not even worth buying. Now, since you didn't make any stupid decisions with your paycheck money, real soon you will find yourself with a big amount of money to do something meaningful with. You can even take this delayed gratification one step ahead by investing the money into something like bonds, bank accounts, share market stocks, etc. You can now see the benefits that you get when you start practicing delayed gratification. And all that was required was to take a step back from the trees to get a look at the bigger picture. Instant rewards blind you from seeing further in the future, and you can see only the things that are available to you at that time, while delayed gratification allows you to see through every possibility and to choose the best one possible. It also allows you to see how every action that you take is going to contribute to your path of reaching the desired goal. The same practice also helps you to improve quality of your actions in every aspect of life. Once you start with the delayed gratification, you find out that it was never really that hard to apply, and you possess everything that you need to leave the affection for immediate gratification behind you, because we know very well that everything in this world worth having comes with effort. Chapter 5. Learn how to commit. Synopsis. One of the most difficult things for anyone to do is to delay the instant rewards or pleasures. In present times, in our society, we want to get everything that is good, and more than that, we want everything right away, and while doing this we rarely think about its future impact over our lives. The attitude towards this is developed in younger age, when as a child we want everything right away, and our parents often don't give it to us to teach us how to control our desires. However, the ability to control our desires in the long run to achieve greater rewards contributes highly in the success of our lives. And this ability has its impact of all aspects that are related to our lives. Commit to it. The first noted research on the delayed gratification was performed by a psychologist named Walter Mischel as a marshmallow test in Stanford. For the test, Walter performed a test on a group of 4-year-old kids and gave them a marshmallow and offered that they can eat it right away, or if they wait for a few minutes they will get 2 marshmallows. Some of the kids ate the marshmallow right away, while many were able to keep control of their desire for the given time period. In later years, Mischel followed the academic and behavior records of all the kids involved in the experiment and discovered that the kids who were able to wait several minutes before eating their marshmallow were significantly more self-motivated, had better academic records, and had higher intelligence level. While the other kids who ate the marshmallow right away were observed to have lower levels of self-esteem and had trouble with school, and were more stubborn than usual. This experiment cleared that there is a very strong connection between the ability of a person to delay instant rewards and success in his or her goals. The earlier a person learns the importance of delayed gratification, the better he or she is with life. However, you can always start with the exercises to control your ability to control your will. Following are some helpful tips for you to help yourself with the entire process. 1. Make decisions in advance and stick with them. When you make a decision about something, you should write it on paper. Try writing details along with it, along with the outcome that you are hoping from it. It's very hard to deny something that you want in the first place, and keeping the same decision for a long time is hard as well. In order to avoid this trouble, you have to draw a clean picture of the entire situation in front of you while making a decision, and keeping your decisions in writing always helps with that purpose. 2. Know the value of something important. You can avoid instant rewards only if you know the exact importance of something in your life. You need to know what things are important to you the most and what needs to be cherished. In this entire scenario, satisfaction is the biggest deal, and you need to evaluate it clearly. If you want a brand new car for yourself, or you are satisfied with your old car that is completely debt-free. Know the things that you want more, and satisfaction will work as the key ingredient for your happiness. If you are perfectly satisfied with your old debt-free car, then there is nothing more to wish for, and you can hold your thoughts for a brand new car on a hold. 3. Plan everything. Having every detail of your life planned ahead is not something that we want, but when it comes to your goals and passions, you need to plan your way to reach there. You need to make a plan about your credit and finances to buy something expensive. You need to plan your career path in order to get career excellence and reach the goal. If you are following your desire through a Plan 27 method, you can easily avoid the urge of settling with the immediate rewards and move forward to your goals more effectively. With a plan, everything that you do goes in the right direction, and you can evaluate what you need to do to achieve your goals. 4. Make priorities. It is very important that you have clear priorities about your decisions and desires. You have to make the important things the priority for you, and don't let anything else get in your way. The priorities can be financial or more general things like college before entertainment. Having a clear vision allows you to reach your goals faster. If you are saving money for a brand new car, then you cannot stop for a while and invest your hard-earned money in a new laptop while your old laptop is working just fine. This might give you some instant happiness, but in the long run you may feel guilt for your decision. 5. Make short-term goals. The hardest thing to do with delayed gratification is to wait for the reward or the goal. The longer it takes, the harder it gets. And at times you may feel like quitting the goal and settle with the immediate reward. The key to control your emotions is to keep yourself self-motivated. To achieve this, instead of choosing a big goal, you can divide it among many short-term rewards and celebrate each time you achieve any of these goals. This trick will keep you focused towards the goal and help you stay motivated. Wrapping up, understand that discipline takes practice. Delaying gratification is a hard task to do, but just like anything else, you can learn it over time. Following some of the mentioned tips will assist you in the entire process of it. Keep yourself motivated and make your way towards the greater rewards, and when you get there you will realize that the wait and anticipation was worth it all along.